Did I lose him? Did I get him? Did I lose him? I lost him.
Caller, if you got cut off, please call back again, and we will pick up your call.
Sorry about that.
That happens on occasion. That's fine.
That's what happens when you let the talent run the board. Here we go. Here's the caller again.
Okay.
They did so. Let's bring him in. Hello there, caller. You are on the air. Hottie Help with the lovely Candace Kita and the spectacular Jennifer Corbin.
Hi, ladies. Hey, I got a question for you.
All right.
Yeah, years ago, it was sort of the polite thing to do for a guy to go to a woman's house to pick her up on a first date. And I just wanted to get some suggestions from you now on safety concerns. And then I had a follow-up question. Does it really make a difference whether the date is through mutual friends or whether the date is an online dating service?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's actually a very good question.
That's a really good question.
Thank you,
Let's
caller.
start with the first one
we'll
first,
start with the first
I think.
one.
I always say now, because of just safety concerns, my personal thing is it would be great to meet somebody at a place where don't have them pick you up at your house, because you don't know, if you don't know them well, you don't want them to know where you live. And also to meet at a place for lunch. Don't necessarily go out at night. It's a coffee.
Coffee's
That's
a great thing. It's you're not committed to a whole meal. If you don't like them, you can go.
Exactly.
What, though, if you're like me and I truly loathe coffee?
Well, then you have a drink.
Go to
you
a
have
tea.
Or
juice
cream,
bar.
Anything.
Thought I could
juice
pull
bar.
that
There
off.
you go.
Yeah, and it doesn't because it's not a big commitment.
But I know that no girl
day.
is going to kiss me if we're having coffee. The only way a girl will kiss me is if we're having alcohol.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Girls don't like me.
So sad. Too bad.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. And that's another thing, too, is that you pick a place that you're familiar with. And do it that way. And also, I'd say to always, if you're a girl, tell somebody where you're going and who you're going to go see.
Yeah.
Just don't, tell a girlfriend, tell, your mom or somebody you know.
Does that make sense, caller?
What was the second question? I can't remember.
How would the rules change for a dating, online dating?
Well, that's a good question. How do they change for
that
online
whole
dating?
concept scares the hell out of me. I've never done it, and I don't see myself doing it.
Well, that's what
Really?
we were going to talk about today is online dating, because you have to take certain precautions. I think that if you're an online dater, and if you're speaking about the woman, what she should do is, one, never ever to embed her personal email into the profile. To always use the email that's given to you by an online dating site, rather than say, oh, and also if you want to get a hold of me, my personal email is blah blah blah. And of course, never mention anything too personal, because the entire world can see it. Like where you work. Like don't say I work at X bank. Say I work in the banking industry. Don't talk about where you live, your street, how many children you have, the pictures of your children.
What sports team you root for?
Sure. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Because no one wants to know.
What school your children attend. I mean, really personal information. You may think that you're putting it out to, the average Joe, but everybody in the world can see it. There's going to be some people that you don't want to see your own personal information. So be really careful about online dating.
Hold on. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah.
You had a second question. What was your second question?
That was the second question.
Yeah,
that was
the second question.
Caller, you had a third and fourth question. What were they?
What was the seventh question?
What was your ninth question?
The 13th?
If you're dating someone through mutual friends, do you sort of...
See, that's what he asked. This was...
The mutual friend versus online dating.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Caller, I totally agree with you on the mutual friends, and we're having a little problem with your transmission, so we're going to say goodbye to that caller.
But let me answer that question, though.
Okay.
Because I think what's important, because I've done a lot of reading on this, mutual friends are great in the sense that you know somebody and they can vouch for you. However, on the flip side, just because you know somebody and through somebody doesn't make them necessarily 100% credible.
Oh, absolutely.
You have
there's
to
always risk.
You don't.
What I'm saying, as far as
know.
risk goes, it's a lot better to go out with someone who has connections to your life through other people than Freddie Joe you meet at the gas station.
Right. Absolutely. I do agree with that. But, just because you have something in common with somebody, just because, this person, it was a Libra and you're a Libra, doesn't mean that everybody that's a Libra in the world somebody's going to be one taco short of a combo platter.
Absolutely.
So you have to be careful.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm just saying. It doesn't matter. Still be on,
Still be on the lookout. But, if three of your girlfriends can vouch that he's a good guy, that to me is a plus.
Yes, better than somebody that you don't even know.
You don't disregard that. And I've always found, when I was single, that women at parties are much more receptive to guys because they go, you're at this party because you're cool, you were invited by, the host.
So-and-so. Mm-hmm.
Not as, if I see you at a bar, anybody can walk in a bar.
Right.
So, I met my wife at a party, so
I met a stalker at a party.
Did you
Yeah.
really?
Wow.
There's never any safe way to go.
Yeah, you never know. Oh, wait, let me go back to this in case we get another call, because otherwise we're going to get confused on this story. But this is about the songwriter Joseph Brooks,
Okay,
where
so
you
wait,
light up my life.
Wait. Songwriter Joseph Brooks.
Yes.
I have to do that sound effect when we come so far away from something.
I know. This is the songwriter Joseph Brooks. He wrote "You Light Up My Life," which was the Academy Award winning song in the 1970s by Debbie Boone. Absolutely. So the 70-year-old movie director is a suspect in 2 rapes, a sodomy, and 2 sexual assaults, because the women were lured by Brooks' promise of parts in his quote-unquote next movie, and also he was boasting about his Oscar, and he offered to show it to them at his pad. So, and it said 2 of the victims
Hey, baby,
were
want to
actually,
see my Oscar?
nod, nod, wink, wink, yeah. And 2 of the victims were
It's gold-plated.
they were doped with date rape drugs,
Wow.
and they believed their drinks were spiked. So this is something that we
70
definitely
years
talk-
old, and he's still up to no good. I mean,
But this
man,
That's pretty frightening.
When does your sex drive turn off, dude?
But
My
that's
dad's
what-
76, and it's still going strong.
But that's
Oh, I
what we've
know,
always
I know.
talked about. To really, ladies, if you go out and you're going out with your girlfriends to a bar or whatever to watch your drinks, if you leave a drink, never go back to it. To make sure that you order, even if it's water, because a lot of these drugs are tasteless and odorless and clear. To be able to leave the drink and get another drink.
That's why you go to the coffee house.
Yeah, exactly. To meet your new guy at the
Jennifer.
coffee house.
Jennifer had the good
Still
one.
gotta, it's funny too, especially if you're a smoker and you go to a club. I've noticed because they won't let you take your drink outside, and so there's just a table full of drinks. And I thought, if I'm thinking of that, somebody else in that club is thinking about that. It's kind of frightening.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you did? How long were you a rape counselor, and what did the job entail? I find it fascinating.
I did for about a year. It was during the course of getting my criminal justice degree. I believe it was my senior year. And like I said, you carry a beeper. It's usually like once a month, sometimes every 3 weeks. And if there's a rape in the middle of the night, or anytime you go and you basically help walk the victim through it and make sure that they have the referrals and that they're educated and that they're okay. And make sure that they get the follow-up help.
That is so fantastic.
Did you follow each case to its conclusion, whether or not the person was found, if they were brought to justice, if they went to the criminal system?
There are a couple of cases that really, really stuck with me. So I did. It's sort of unethical. You can't keep contacting the victim if the victim doesn't want to talk to you.
Sure, absolutely.
And a lot of times they want to forget it, especially if their family is
Oh,
convincing
yeah.
them that it's their fault. And if the police aren't doing much about it. But there were a couple of cases that I would read little articles in the newspaper about and kind of keep up on.
Well, because I heard, I read that a lot of times when a rape victim is strong enough to, 1, report it, and 2, they find the guy and they actually go to court, that a lot of times the rape victims are literally dragged through the mud in the
Absolutely.
Oh, they
courtroom
are.
process. And
They're
told that
assassinated.
they deserved
It's
it.
the blame the victim
they
defense.
wore it. They were,
Oh, yeah.
and I hate using these words, but prostitute, whore, slut, harlot, deserved to.
And even if they were, it just doesn't give them. It doesn't
it still
matter.
doesn't justify
Exactly.
their actions. But anyways,
Yeah.
I heard it's almost like for rape
horrible.
victims, it's
It's a second rape.
Yeah,